Hello cruising world, Mick the Suit Guy with you. Guess what? It's Monday. And you know what Monday means? Monday is tips day. I got some new tips. In fact, I got 6 tips from Scott Brust. So we're going to give you 2 weeks, 3 this week, 3 next week. I got another kiddie one from Jill, if you remember my kiddie video. So we'll do that. So yeah, 3 this week, 3 next week. And as always, I always say this, and it's not me just being lazy. When you give me more than 3 tips, you get more than 1 week, you get a suit given to you. So Scott, you got the Pac-Man suit. So nothing to do with the fact that I'm going to record week 1 and week 2 back to back. So I haven't got to change the suits at all. At all. All about giving you a special suit when you take the time and care to give me that many. That many. And I did warn Scott, as I warn everybody, I have not read these yet. So we're going to read them live. We're going to react live. And then we'll see what happens. All right, let's go. Scott. Scott Brust. Nice firm last name. Brust. Roll the R. I've been enjoying your channel for some time, as you should. But I haven't contributed any tips yet because I hadn't cruised since before the pandemic. However, all of that recently changed. My wife and I just had a lovely 3-day cruise on board the Radiance out of Long Beach. Typical, because I just got back from that. 4-day, not the 3-day. The 3-day on the Radiance out of Long Beach is a booze cruise from hell. 4-day, nice and quiet. The bartenders will all say the same thing. They can relax now before the weekend starts again. Anyway, and this summer we'll be part of an extended family group celebrating my in-laws' 50th anniversary on the Panorama. Lovely ship. Lots of videos on the Panorama on my channel, if you look for them. I was on the inaugural of the Panorama, and then we did a back-to-back right before COVID hit. Boo. All right. That's what I'm at with. That was disgusting. Ignore that. I think a tooth just fell out. Therefore, I now have some tips following the first cruise, and I hope to have more in the future as my family gears up for the second. That's what I'd like to hear. All right, number 1. On the topic of drinking. Uh-oh. This is my first cruise under the influence, I like that, of a cheers package. My wife and I were sailing without kids, so we gave it a try, and we were both glad we did. I didn't come close to drinking 15 drinks a day, but I did get my money's worth. And part of the value was in trying drinks I might not like. I did this several times, and lo and behold, I did not like some of my drinks. You win some, you lose some. While I may have suffered through a bad drink, if I were at a bar on land with a cheers package, I read that wrong. I'm going to read that with the proper flow. Start that again. While I may have suffered through a bad drink if I were at a bar on land with a cheers package, you have the lovely option of abandoning a cocktail after a few sips to go and order something else. However, it wasn't always easy to remember that concept, so please please do bear it in mind, especially if you're a first-time Cheers customer, and don't waste your time on a drink you don't like. That's an excellent tip. Are you watching, Dave? That's how you write a tip. So yeah, very good point. And I don't drink liquor, as a rule. I try and drink just beer. And there is a reason. It's not that I don't like liquor. It's more that you won't like me if I drink a lot of liquor, if you know what I mean. So I try and avoid it. However, I've become friends with so many alchemy bartenders now because Julie drinks liquor at the alchemy bar. She would drink her deal closers and stuff like that. So I like absinthe drinks, right? I like Pernod. It's my favorite. So I have from time to time asked the alchemy bartenders, instead of just going with a quick fix, to try a different drink for me. And Julie's tried the same thing with other drinks. And we take a couple of sips. If we don't like it, we don't drink it. Because you're right. I mean, 15 drinks a day, we do, I'm not going to lie, we do it quite a bit, but not always. There's a bit of leeway in there, you know. And I will add this. Sometimes, depending on the alchemy bartender, if you order that drink and you really don't like it, and you tell them, be honest, be nice, say, Nicola, this drink is disgusting. You are useless as a bartender. Make me another one, you idiot. Not going to go over so well. If you said, Nicola, I really appreciate the effort you put into this drink, but it's not quite what I was wanting. Could you do this? They might make you another one without charging you for another one. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. I come from the school of you don't get if you don't ask. But yes, very valid point. Lots of things in one tip there to remember. You don't have to drink 15 to make Cheers pay. Work out the cost. It's $60 plus 18% gratuity. So base it on the 60, not the 70, because it's easier. Because the drinks, $8 for a beer, $13 for a drink in Alchemy, free coffee, free water, free blah, blah, blah. Do the quick math in your head on how many you think you'll drink a day and add it up. If it comes to more than 60, do the Cheers package. And as I always say, remember the best tip on Cheers I can give you. You cannot buy a round. Could save you a small fortune because we're all social people on a cruise ship. Make a new friend. Oh, let me buy you a drink. Oh, gosh, I can't. I'm on the Cheers package. Sorry, you'll have to buy your own. Just save myself $30. Tip number 2. That's a very good start, Scott. I hope it keeps going like that. On the topic of peace and quiet. I preferred on the topic of drinking. Peace and quiet on a cruise ship. Serenity. There we go. Serenity is a lovely name for the adults only area. But don't be fooled into thinking that the Serenity deck will offer the most peaceful place to lounge. On the Radiance, as with all the Sunshine class ships, the Serenity deck is directly in the line of fire for all the blaring music that gets played at the Lido pool. Indeed, I would venture that the terrace decks in the Lido area may actually channel the sound up to the Serenity deck. However, my wife and I were undaunted and we found that the lounge area, one deck above the aft Lido pool, all the way to the stern, not only offered peace and quiet, but many more available lounge chairs. There weren't too many children there either, probably because there is no pool on that deck. So if you're cruising without kids, don't be tempted into assuming that the Serenity deck is always your best bet. Valid point. I mean, I'll be honest, I have ADD from hell, so you're not going to find me sitting down anywhere. I don't think I've ever sat in a lounge chair on a cruise ship because I'm on the go. You know, I got things to do. I got people to see. I got red stripes to drink. I can't sit still. But the music, they do play it quite loud. And, for me, being a DJ, some of the DJs are just not good. And they can train wreck so badly, those mixes. And I just find myself getting irritated because they're not the best. Some of them are. A lot of them are not that good. So, yeah. But yeah, I know. We were doing my pub crawl on the Radiance last week. I do a pub crawl. Look at the ships up there. So we were doing the pub crawl on the Radiance last week. And I do actually remember being up at the bar, doing our stop there. And I actually don't remember it being that loud compared to the main Lido deck. But you could definitely hear it. But I was at the bar, which is always towards the front of the ship. And also, bear one thing in mind, the Serenity deck on the Radiance is probably one of the smallest Serenity decks in the fleet. I would also add, not only is it close to the noise from there, but you've got Camp Ocean just inside there, and you're also just past the entrance to the waterworks. So, possible there could be a few screaming kids. But yeah, in all the cruises we've done, and that was, last week was my 58th Carnival cruise. Don't think I've ever sat still anywhere on a ship for more than 20 minutes. Some people love it. But yeah, all right, I guess that's a good tip, Scott. I can't really talk about it because I don't spend enough time up there, but sounded good to me. You let me know in the comments. And the last one for this week, tip number 3, on the virtues of the Alchemy bar. Could be interesting. I know you're a fan of the Alchemy bar. I'm a fan of the bartenders. I don't really drink the drinks there. And now I can say that I am too. Hurrah! Whew! I was getting nervous there. All of our previous Carnival cruises were on fantasy class ships where the Alchemy bar is shoehorned into a cramped little spot under staircases and columns. So I never tried it until I sailed on the Radiance. Not only was the Radiance Alchemy bar in a very nice location, but it was staffed by none other than Nicola. I got tears in my eyes. Nicola. Oh my God. who I've seen mentioned in your videos many times. He was terrific, and he made me the best Manhattan I've ever had. I know I'm just a voice in the chorus, but there is no better bar on a Carnival ship, and I encourage everyone to try it. That being said, not everything on their bar menu is a home run. The Purple Sunset is transcendent, but the Perfect Storm is a fruity mess. All the more reason to get a cheers package, I suppose. One more tip within a tip. If you're a snob about the cherry in your cocktail, Alchemy Bar appears to be the only place on board that uses Luxardo cherries instead of the inferior bright red ice cream sundae cherries. You lost me there, but I get it. I get it. That's perfectly well put. And I would also say, playing the devil's advocate, that the Perfect Storm is a fruity mess to you could be a fruity success to somebody else, because we all have different taste buds. That's all I'd say. So open mind, everybody, open mind. Nothing personal, Scott, but when somebody says I hated it, that's fine. But I always kind of try and say just because you hated it doesn't mean everybody else hated it. And I say that with love and respect, because you mentioned my boy Nicola. And if you saw recently, I put out a video where I actually took Nicola ashore on my cruise, and we had a rather interesting time. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. Nicola, what can I say? I feel like he's my son. You know, he's 28 years old, and he acts like he's 8. I'm 57 years old. I act like I'm 7. So we get on great. That's why. Love me some Nicola. Big Nicola, little Nicola. It doesn't matter. If you're in the Alchemy and your name is Nicola, you're awesome. Right, good. Good 3 tips. I look forward to next week's. I should take a sneak peek, but I'm not going to. I know there's 3 more. I saw 4, 5, and 6. Let's look at the subject headers. Number 1, on the topic of drinking, again. Number 2, comedy shows. We'll see what that one says. And appetizers. There's your 3 tips for next week from Scott. Good start. Very well written. Nicely printed. Bold headlines for the subject matter. Very well done. Way better than some people, Dave, present theirs. And I remember Glenn sent me some handwritten ones in pencil that you'd taken a picture of and sent to me. This is how you do tips, everybody. All right, Scott, great first week. We'll look forward to next week. And I'll add one from Jill on at the end of next week too. So, one more kiddie tip. With that, there's your tips. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't add your tips in the comments. Send me your tips. Be like Scott. Email them to me. The email is coming up at the end of the video, and I will do you a show. If you get me like 5 or 6, you'll get your own suit too. I've got 72 of them, so there's plenty to choose from. Subscribe. Send me your tips. Ovie. Us. I hate Ovie. Who says Ovie? Obviously. Let's use the proper language, people. Obviously. And if you have any questions, emails coming up. Send me them. Cruise traditions. Haven't had any of those for a while. What do you always do on a cruise ship? Like I always say, the ship's up there. Bar crawl, pub crawl. Have all the bartenders sign it every cruise. A lot of fun. With that, see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, Mick, at elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.